Welcome back to Shifting to Solids. Today we're going to be talking about the hole feature in Onshape. So like always, let's get started with a sketch. Let's start on that top plane, Shift S, letter N to normalize, and P to hide those planes. So for what we're going to do today, I'm just going to draw a big rectangle. Let's go like 12 by 6 off that center point on that origin. Let's do a extrusion by holding Shift and E. And let's make that 4 inches thick. So we'll say okay. And now you have this rectangle. And really, it doesn't matter where or how big you're going on this for this practice. But what we're going to do is, if you follow me up top, we talked about our shell command last week. We're going to do holes this week. Create a simple countersink or counterbore holes in parts by selecting sketch points or mate connectors. Specify hole size, termination type, and standard, as well as precision and tolerances for most parameters. So for what we're going to do today, we're going to show the simple, the countersink, and the counterbore. But there's a bunch of different ways you can go about making those holes. So right now, the way we did this, if I click that, I have nowhere to put. We'll start with a simple and an inch. We'll do everything in inches today. You can do metric as well, but it's asking me sketch points to place holes. Now, I didn't draw any sketch points. I can, and I'll show you how to go back and put those points there. But for starters, easiest way to do it is use this mate connector. Now, when you use the mate connector feature, if you look over here, normalize that view real quick, you'll see I get all these points. So I get the 3 points on the left, 3 points on the right, and 3 points in the center, top, middle, and bottom. Right now, I could put a hole here on all these extra corners. That's not going to work too well for me because I'm only going to get a partial of that hole. So we're going to pick our origin as our hole type right now. It's asking me, the next thing is merge scope. So yeah, we're going to merge with part 1 because that's the only thing we have. Now it's going to ask hole type, drilled, clearance, tapped, or PEM. We'll go through that. For what we're going to do right now, it's just going to be a drilled hole, drill size. And you can go through all of these different, and what's cool is they added the letters with the decimal equivalent. So I know a lot of times it's like, well, I know there's a 1/4 inch is 0.25 or 0.25, but if you look, letter E is also 0.25. And if you're running off of those drill bit sets, you're able to match this here. If you didn't know what you were looking for, you can also just type in 0.25. and it'll bring up some options. You know, maybe did you want to get a little more precise, letter F with 0.257, a bunch of different ways you can do this. But for what we're going to do, let's just make it like a 2-inch hole so we can kind of see what we're doing. So we'll say 2. Didn't like that. So we'll go down here. If it didn't pick it in the drill size, you can just write 2 in your size here. Notice the diameter tolerance. If you click that drop down, you have some other stuff. So you can add some tolerances, some precision. There's a lot of stuff you can do in here. But essentially what we want to do, we're just going to drill a 2-inch hole, so it's pretty easy. And you have these. So start plane, start from part, start from sketch plane, start from selected plane. Really, we're always going to start from the part on this one. And termination, this is what I kind of want to show you. So termination through all, it's going to go through that whole part. That's really cool if you're going to do a, if you're ever going to change the thickness of this. Blind, I can say I need this hole to go down 1 inch, and it'll terminate 1 inch down. I can also give it a kind of, since it's being drilled, that drill bit tip. So depending on, I can have it be a flat hole. I can do some sort of custom angle. Maybe it's a 135, a 118, whatever you're running, you can do this. Let me pull this into a section view so we can see this from the side. Turn that section view on. There we go. So if we see this view, I can change that to a flat, and now it's going to be a flat hole, 1 inch down. I can do a 135. So depending on whatever drill bit you're using, That's how you would go about doing that. So that is a simple hole on the inch side. I could do the same exact thing and just switch it to metric, pick a different size. Essentially, it's the same workflow. So if you're trying to do inches or metric, just pick which one you're doing. I'm going to stick with inches for this video. We'll go ahead and make this back to 2 inches. We'll say okay. If we go through all, I want you guys to see that. That's what that looks like. So if I were to go back to my extrusion and then change this to a 6-inch thickness, that is still all the way through. Where if I change my hole here and I have it like that and I don't have it as a through all and I change my thickness to 6, you'll see that hole stays the same thickness. So if you want that hole to be drilled all the way through, kind of think about how you're planning out your holes. I'm going to go back in there, and instead of being a simple hole, let's switch over to the counter bore feature. Now, a lot more stuff going on here. We can still have a 2-inch wide hole. You can do clearance, you can do tapped, you can do all kinds of stuff. So we'll do clearance hole, 2 inches across. However, down here, if you look, I need it's giving me a red issue because my counter bore, and essentially a counter bore is a stepped hole. It's showing that my bigger step is smaller than my shorter step. So we need to swap these. So if I have a counter bore, let's make this a counter bore of 4 with a 2-inch through hole. We'll do here 2-inch through all. You'll see how that does that there. And my counter bore is 2 inches, but that only goes down. Right now it's set at 1/4 inch, but if we change that to, let's normalize this view really quick. Let's change that to a 2-inch step. You can see you'll end up with something like this. And if I turn my section view back on or turn it off, you'll see that it's stepped down as needed. So why would I use this? If I'm trying to hide a bolt head and I don't want the head to be sheared off, I need that depth, but I don't want the head sticking up past whatever I'm doing for whatever reason. Maybe it's some like fine machine parts that need to go together. Maybe it's just to keep, kids from messing with screws that are sitting there, or it's just something that doesn't need to be seen, or it's something that you don't want maybe customers to mess with a setting. And so you might put a screw in there or a bolt in there and then change that after the fact. So that's how you do a counter bore hole. Again, going to be the same thing, inch versus metric. Now what we want to do is countersink. So if I keep the same mate connector, notice I haven't changed that throughout. I'll show you that here in a second. But if I click my countersink, you'll see it's going to turn red. I want a, we'll do a 1-inch through. We'll do a 2-inch on the outside. And remember, if you look at the pictures, it kind of helps. So this is showing the hole that's going to go all the way through, and this is showing what that countersink is going to be. And then it's allowing me to put an angle in there. So maybe I want this to be a 45-degree angle. So if we look over here at what we did, that's that countersunk hole. We look all the way through, it's going to be 1 inch all the way through, but at that countersink head, it's going to be 2 inches. Let me turn that section view off again. Section view back on, so we can see what we're doing, and we can see how that angle gets affected. So we'll go there, turn that back on. There we go. You can change the depth of that. You can do 45 degrees, maybe is a little steep. And again, you can use your scroll wheel to manipulate that. So maybe it's only a 15-degree countersink. Or 15, is a lot. Maybe it's a 75-degree countersink. Not as much, right? maybe it's 80 degrees, so it's only at a 10 degree slope essentially based off of 90. We'll see what 90 does. I don't know if it terminates or no. Yeah, I'll still give you a 90. 120. Yeah, you can go quite a bit. I think 180 is going to be where it's going to stop you, and it'll turn red. But I can go all the way up to 179, and you'll see that's still a little bit of a countersink. Not much, but it's still mathematically possible. I can't go flat though, so anything from 180. See if it'll go down to 1 degree, 0 degrees. Yeah, so 1 to 179 is what the countersink will allow you to do. I've never seen anywhere where you'd want a countersink that big, but it's possible. Just goes to show that if you're teaching drafting or you're learning drafting, that there's some things you can draw in your drafting program, in Onshape, SolidWorks, whatever you're learning, that you can't necessarily create in the real world. So let's make this, we'll do a 30 degree, and we'll make it 1.25, a little more realistic maybe. You'll see that's where that head of that bolt can go. Let's go 1.5. I like that better. 1.5. And we'll make it like 60 degrees maybe. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little more realistic. Now I have a place for that head of that bolt to sit. And that's how we go about there. So that's how the whole feature works. I'm going to go ahead and shut off that section view one more time so you can see how we do this. So I want to do multiple holes, and this is where the beauty of the whole feature comes into play. I'm going to go back to my sketch, and I'm going to put some dots. I'm going to put some points, maybe here, just kind of random spots. I could also do a rectangle again, and that'll give me 4 points at a time. So that's kind of cool. We'll do that, and we'll say okay. We'll fix my extrusion to where it picks everything again. And now I still have that hole feature, but now if I go here and I click back on my mate connector, and it's asking me what else I want, I can click this mate connector button again, but we'll turn our sketch on this time. And now if we look at it from that top view, anywhere I have those points, I can now use as a place to produce holes. Let me fix this real quick. So yeah, anywhere I have those holes selected, I can pick that dot, put one there, put one there, put one there. I could put one, if I added those points for the midpoint. I'll show you what happens if I pick mate connector and I use that piece there. Again, it's going to give me a partial hole. If I were to do this on this corner here, it's going to give me a corner of that. What's cool though is if I flip this thing over, maybe I want a hole right here. I'm able to do that and have those holes meet. I can do it through all four sides. Let's go to this other side. You'll see they are meeting together. So this is something you could do to show how that works. If I have multiple holes, all the same type, same size, that's how I would go about doing that. Maybe I need, let's do the hole wizard again, but this time I need a counter bore hole. And I want that to be based off of, we'll go off of this midpoint right here. There we go. Now I have some counter bores in between where all of these parts based off of that initial rectangle. So I can make some pretty cool 3D geometry with very little 2D sketches involved. Literally just drew two rectangles, added some points, and called it a day. And now I'm to a block. It looks like a block of Swiss cheese, but something I can do with multiple types of parts. And that whole wizard is very, very intuitive. I feel like it gets better and better. At first, when I first used it, it was kind of clunky, and it would take a little while to develop these holes, but it learns fairly quickly, and it works really well. So hopefully this stuff's working out for you guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Next week, we'll be working on the external thread. So we can show how to put threads around some bolts, maybe make some, turn some round stock into some threaded bolts. Maybe if you're going to be using this for some CAD, some CAM purposes on a machine, or even just to throw a part in there to test your skills to show how to make a bolt. So that's going to do it for us. I'll see you guys next week. Take care.